out from you on what brings you out here standing on the bridge here.
We are now living under a tyranny. The very dictionary definition of a tyrant has already been fulfilled. A tyrant is someone who with impunity can murder his political opponents. Our president claims and has exercised that right. He has killed al-Awlaki in Somalia, and he's killed al-Awlaki's son. And efforts to simply ask for the reasons why have been stonewalled in court. The American court system is complicit in this tyrannical rule, and of course, Congress has not upheld the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution, that no American citizen shall be deprived of life or liberty without due process of law. The Congress has made no objection to the arrogation of tyrannical power by the president. That's why I'm here. He does it with drones. He does it by clean killing. And we are told how wonderful this is, how much of a surgical strike it is. Astonishing. Assassination, murder, extrajudicial killings is considered positive by the present ruling elite, the present political elite of the United States.
That's not what we Americans stood for.
Well, in the Tang Dynasty, I was showing my son today. The leading historians of China say that a long period of peace and prosperity changed qualitatively the entire Chinese system. We have had, since 1980 to now, a period of internal peace and relative prosperity. And as a result, we have had a change toward lack of constitutional guarantees in our federal government. And my opinion is that it is one way. It's forever. And we are now living and will continue to live under a tyranny. What the Russians had before 1991, we now have. We have adopted their lead, is my opinion.
I'm seeing the drones being used maybe more and more in the United States too.
Of course.
So we can predict what will be happening.
That's going to be the next step.
Michael, maybe even in a while we might have a drone over our head.
There will be some large demonstration, tens of thousands of people, and a drone will come flying overhead, dispensing tear gas to everybody. That's what it will be. And if you see some people breaking the Bank of America windows, that person will be machine gunned by a drone. That's what it will be.
You can see the writing on the wall, sad to say. And that's what brings you out here, to bring awareness to this issue.
I am simply asking for human rights. I no longer believe we have a constitutional system. However, there are human rights, and the human rights I'm asking for are the thousands of victims of extrajudicial killings by the Obama administration.
Thanks for saying that so eloquently and plain and simple. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Get your sign there. What you doing there, Roberto?
Refreshing my sign. It's all getting done in by the sun. These pens don't last forever. Out here doing our protest on Fridays, trying to remind the people that things are happening that shouldn't be happening, and they need to do some action around it, or it's going to continue to happen. The fascist state is going to now have drones watching us 24/7, so they can make sure that we're up to no bad stuff or whatever. But they're the ones that are doing the bad stuff, so I don't know.
Hopes that being out here, this will bring awareness to where more people's voices will rise up and say, we don't tolerate this? Is that...
Yeah, well, that's why we come out here every Friday and go wherever there's people out there in the streets doing stuff, because, we got to make some more noise around these issues and stuff like that, because they're just going to stay the same if we don't do something. If we don't protest it and say no, not in our name, or stuff. But the government is just big brother, They got it's amazing how life imitates art. You know, George Orwell had it all. You know, Big Brother's going to watch over us and take care of us from cradle to grave. And yeah, now the fascist state is growing by leaps and bounds now because they're just undoing our rights without any consent. And you know, it's like there's no actual thing that says there's any controls or restrictions on drones on the national scene. Congress didn't say anything about that.
When are they going to address that?
Who knows? They're all gone out to campaign. They don't give a shit. You know?
Yeah.
And somebody's making billions of dollars making these drones. So, you know, it's still another corporate giveaway. And every police department in this country wants a drone. Every agency wants their drone. So, I mean, you know, some people are going to get killed because these things aren't that, they don't stay in the air that well, you know, and they crash a lot. So,
and I do see,
you know,
speaking of police, that one says police right up on there.
Yeah, there's going to be a variety, and who knows what kind of technologies they're going to have. Are they going to be able to arm them? You know, they're going to use rubber bullets, or they're going to use tear gas, or they're going to use real bullets, or tasers, or whatever. You know, so it's a new scientific field of technology. It's a technological wonder. You can watch the people 24/7. Isn't that great? You can be in your backyard and they'll be hovering over your head, taking a video of what you're doing. You know, you won't have any privacy at all. You're just like, man, as soon as you're out of there. And then they have probably have infrared so they can track you anywhere in your house. A whole mess.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? It's just, you know, it's the world gone mad.
Well, thanks for bringing attention to it, Roberto. It's
Yeah, you know, it's tiring and exhausting being out here, but you know, we got to come out here and do our thing.
You got your
right?
sign.
That's right. Thanks
All
for
right.
being here, too.
Thanks for doing the video.
Yeah. Hey, Joe.
How you doing?
You're over here in the shade.
Well, I need the shade.
That's hot in the sun.
It kind of goes with my personality, a little bit shady, you see. We're out here again today to do a couple of things. Number one, we're really getting nervous about what's going on with Syria and Iran. The American, the Israelis would go to war tomorrow if the rest of the world would let them. The rest of the world, including Russia and China and a few other places, are saying no, don't go to war. So we have a standoff for the time being, but if war was declared tomorrow, I would have to ask again, where? Where did we declare war this time? Or did we declare war? Have we declared war? Has Congress had anything to say about it? And all of you cocktail liberals that are silent with Obama in office are hypocrites. You need to get into the streets and stop what's going to happen if we don't stop it. Syria is being seriously undermined by the Western countries. We have CIA in there. We have subversive actions going on in there. We are overthrowing another sovereign country. A lousy government, granted. And maybe he should be put on trial in the international court, right next to Bush, right next to Cheney, right next to Rumsfeld. Maybe we should try all of these murderers instead of killing the people that live in the countries. That's one of our representative drones over there. Since Obama has taken office, you cocktail liberals, you Democrats, 60 children have been murdered by these things that come out of the sky, that nobody knows what they're doing. that nobody controls until they start firing missiles. That's what we're doing in our foreign policy.
Now, weren't you a Democrat, Joe?
Yes, I was a Democrat for 40 years.
40 years.
40 years. I kid around with people and say, sometimes it takes people longer to learn. But after Clinton, after Obama, that's it, folks. I'm out of here.
Now, the other day, Obama was speaking in Portland, right? Was there a
Yeah.
lot of people going in there to pay the money and give him the clap and sit around the table with them? Did you see a lot of cocktail liberals? And
There were a lot of cocktail liberals that paid $500 a pop just to get in.
do you think they mentioned anything about drones to him or anything? Or
No.
They're
All they did was say, hallelujah, another Messiah. That's what they're saying. They think he's some kind of a Messiah, and he's not. He's a Chicago politician that kills kids. That's what he is.
Would they say he's better than the other guy running, Romney?
Romney is a criminal. I mean, for him to run for the highest office in the United States, it's just a validation of how corrupt we are.
Boy, that was well said.
I mean, people say to him, hey, we want to see your taxes. And he says, go to hell. And people are still voting for him according to the polls.
he tells him to go to hell.
Yeah, neck and neck. So I'm convinced that there's 20-30% of the American people like to be whipped because we do it all the time to them, and they smile and they vote the same people into office over and over and over again. And I don't care if they're a Republican or a Democrat. We have to run them all out. Every goddamn one of them. Because they're all corrupt.
Well, I think if people shut up about stuff and don't talk about it, they won't know. So you're out here speaking about it. You called this the protest out here to put the emphasis on drones.
We're putting the emphasis on drones because that's the new thing. Everybody wants to buy their own drone. And that model over there, it is about the size of some of the drones that, for instance, the police department will get, that will fly over cities, and they will take pictures of all of us, exactly what we're doing. We will have no privacy anywhere. Seattle Police Department bought their own drone. They didn't even bother talking to the politicians. They just went and bought one because it's only 40 grand, so they can buy it with their budget.
Joe, if nobody complains or does anything about it, they might as well, right?
That's
Don't we
right.
need people to stand up and demand accountability? That's what we need.
All of you Democrats that think 4 more years of Obama is going to give you anything, you are kidding yourself. You're lying to yourself. You drank the Kool-Aid, just like the Bush people did. These guys have to be held accountable, and we're not. We don't hold anybody accountable anywhere on any level anymore. I mean, we have a local thing that's going on right now with Salzman. He's a sitting city councilman in the city of Portland, and his family is going to get $10 million in the next 10 years because TriMet is moving their offices into their property. Now, isn't that sweet? And when I confronted him with it, he looked at me and smiled and said, well, that's not me, that's my family.
Oh, he has nothing to do with that, huh?
So you Democrats, stop complaining about Supreme Court justice and look at your own politicians. We got people and kids starving, and the Salzman family is going to pick up a cool $10 million. How's that?
As TriMet prices rise, as service declines.
And how is TriMet going to make up for all this money that they're going to buy new furniture, millions of dollars of new furniture? They're going to raise the damn rates on you that voted.
Well, boy, there's a lot of issues out here. They just keep rising too, Joe.
They are. And if people aren't angry, and sometimes I come across a little bit too angry, but if people aren't angry now, today, what the hell is it going to take you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we have corrupt, and we have somebody who thinks he can kill anybody at will. Those are our choices for president.
Joe, they were trying to do a lot of that drone killing and do it in secrecy, and I guess it got leaked out that that's what they were doing.
That's right. That the only thing that we have going for us anymore are the people that are willing to give up their careers or go to prison. Like Manning may go to prison. Bradley Manning may go to prison for the rest of his life because he told the American people the truth. And they are angry with him. And it just the way they dealt with him when he first was arrested and put into prison and tortured for a whole year with all of us, tens of thousands of us screaming, "Stop it!" And they said no. Why? Because they don't fear us.
Boy, we spent a good year or so just protesting the torture that our country's doing to people.
That's
as
right.
they put them in other countries and say they're not accountable, or on ships on the high seas, or foreign secret hellholes, prisons in other countries. We spent a year.
We still have Judge Bobby sitting on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, even though people have petitioned the Chief Justice of that court to get him off. We petition our Congress people to get him off. He is the guy that's responsible for all of the torture memos. He either approved them or wrote them himself, and his reward was to sit on the second highest court in the land. What the hell is the matter with us?
God, Joe, it just keeps getting, I'm being sarcastic, but better and better all the time around here.
And,
Jeez.
The only trickle down that's going on, folks, is the attitude of people that are supposed to be our servants. That's why the cops are not afraid of us. They laugh at us. Who are we going to turn to? Blumenauer? Are we going to turn to the city council? Who are we going to turn to? Nobody. There's nobody left.
Well, you're out here and you're making people be aware, and you're bringing these issues, and I appreciate it. It's been informative.
Thank you very much for stopping by.
Stop the effing wars.
Yes,
That covers a lot of ground.
it does cover
Boy.
a lot of ground, and the true meaning I cannot say on video, but figure it out.
Yeah.
It ain't freaking wars.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Keep up the good work.
You get a chance
Hey.
to speak.
Yeah, does Michael want to say anything? What brings you out here, Michael?
My dad made me come out here.
He made you. I bet you could have stayed if you didn't want to.
No.
No?
He was on your way to the Northwest Children's Theater.
Okay. But
We stopped here on the way.
I don't think that you're just doing this because your dad tells you to. You do probably care about drones being used on people and murder and those type of things, right?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah. So,
I probably wouldn't care though if my dad wasn't my dad.
yeah, but it's good you got a dad that's a peace advocate.
Yes.
And there's not a lot of people out here. There's no youth out here. You're the only young person out here. So
Yeah.
this is important. And it's good that you're got a good dad to lead you with some good advice, and you're being exposed to and representing peace, love, all the good things this world needs. And we need the youth at least knowing about it. And so I know you know about it, and that's
Yeah.
good. That gives me hope. That gives me hope. Because people that don't know, I don't have much hope. I'm putting my hope in the youth that know, and the people that are willing to come out and say
And
something.
the only reason that I would even know about drones at all would be my dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're not really hearing it otherwise, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't
And that's
advertise it on the Olympics.
yeah. And that or
We killed another 10 people today at a wedding.
we did today.
No.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
but
giving
for
it as an
example,
example.
yes, yeah,
It kind of put a damper on the Olympic coverage.
yeah. Well, I do appreciate seeing young people being involved because it is really important for our future. Me and your dad and Roberto and Joe, look, our ages, we're not going to be around here long enough, and we need somebody with the smarts to carry on because it's important. I put value in it, and I appreciate seeing you all out here.
Thank you.
Good job.
Right.